Hey, how's it going? This is Rob from Justin's Toys, and today I'm going to show you how to make a box head. And as you can see, this tutorial actually requires a template. This is the Minecraft Creeper, this is Minecraft Steve, and for your convenience, I have even made a section where you can design your own unique box head. Okay, so to set up your loom for the box head, you are going to need a large base, small base, and 2 bar pins. And what you want to do is grab your first bar pin. If you're right-handed, you want the top bar pin that goes up here to have the arrow facing that way. Alright? And you want to put it as far to the edge as possible, just like so. Push down. Then you want the other bar pin to face the opposite direction, and I'm right-handed, so this one's going to point that way. If you're left-handed, do it the opposite, and it's going to be perfectly aligned. So I could do one of these, and I'm going to take the small base and I'm going to put it all the way as far to the right as possible. Alright, so that is the setup. And if you take a look at the template, the first thing you are going to do, conveniently noted, number 1, is take 5 bands and put them on these 6 pegs right there. So these 5 bands are all green, as you can see in this picture, and I'm going to grab a capped green. Again, all of the bands in this tutorial are capped. Connect those 2 pegs. Another capped one. Connect those 2. Another capped. Connect these 2. Another capped. These 2. Another capped. And that is the last one that I'm applying in this manner. And once you do that, also make sure, I forgot to mention, that I am starting with the arrow pointing away from me. So when I put that first one on, I put it right here because the arrow was pointing that way. So if the arrow is pointing that way, you're applying bands this way. If you're left-handed, you would have started on the other side. Just a quick note. Alright, because these are going to loop that way. Alright, so now that we have that whole entire first row, I am ready to begin applying row number 2, which is down here, which is green, black, green, green, black, and green. So I'm going to grab one green, cap it, and this is actually getting applied onto these 6 sets of pegs. This first slot right here is going to go on these 2 pegs. So I'm going to put it on, but you have to put it on as an 8. Okay? As you can see, I just did that. Next one's going to be black. I'm going to try to do it from a different angle just so you guys could see better. But I'm going to put it on these first one. Okay? Then you go up and over. Just like that. Next one is green. Again, the cap band. Put it over this peg. And again, turn it into an 8. Next one is a green. Cap band. Put it over. And turn it into an 8 just like so. Next is black. Capped. Another 8. And the last one is going to be a green. That is also an 8. And that is actually the last 8 that I'm putting on. The next one, I am putting a clear band. This is considered the connector bands, and this is what's going to hold your whole entire box head together. Okay? You can use clear, you can use white. In this case, you could probably get away with green, but for the most part, I like to use clear because it takes away from the actual box head the least. And what you're going to do with this connector is connect that bottom peg all the way on the left, all the way, you really need to stretch it out to the right. So as you can see, it's connecting all 6 of these bands. And once you do that, you can push down in order to make space for the next set of 6 bands, which is going to be row number 3 right here. So as you can see, row number 3 is green, black, 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 and green. And in this case, I'm only going to be putting the cap bands on normally. So I'm not turning them into 8s this time. It's just a capped green band that is going straight across. Alright, so there was 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, and last one is going to be the green. Okay, so if I go back, you can see it's exactly what it needs to be. And you can actually begin looping now. So grab your hook and you're going to go inside that clear. So make sure you're inside it. As you can see, the clear is here and here. You're going inside and you're grabbing those first 2 of that first band that represents row 2. Right over here, you're grabbing those 2 bottom blacks, bringing it up. So recognize that there's a whole set of bands all the way on the bottom, and I'm not touching that until the end. So over here, these 2 greens, bring it up. Over here, these 2 greens. Okay, here's another angle. Bring it up. Right over here, you're grabbing those 2 bottom blacks, bring it up. Over. And this is a tricky one. This one here all the way at the end where the groove is right there. You're going to go inside and you're going to just grab those 2. But you have to make sure that you're inside this clear when you're grabbing those 2. Okay? And then you bring it over. Alright? And you could turn it around. And this side's going to be easier because you don't have that bottom set of bands. So you can just go in, bring this up, and then go in, bring this up, bring this up, bring this up, 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 and then turn it around. Okay? Now, the next thing we want to do is grab another connector band. Again, a clear for me. I'm going to push down, but before I apply this clear band, I want to bring this clear band that's over here over this peg, bring it up, and then go on the other side, bring it up and over here. Okay? Now grab that clear that you had, and again, from that bottom left peg, you're really going to stretch it out and put it over this peg over here as well. Okay, now I can apply row number 4, which is green, black, 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 green. Again, these are cat bands, but they're going on straight. So green, again, push down just so you can prevent further confusion later. Okay. Green, black. Again, these are capped. Black, 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 green. All right. Again, just like before, we can begin looping. Okay, so grab your hook. And again, make sure you're inside that clear band. And you're going to grab those bottom two. Well, not all the way bottom. Bring it up and over. Over here. Get inside. Bring those up and over. Inside that clear. Up and over. Inside these clears. Up and over. And again, this is the tricky one. You want to go in front of that clear, bring it around, and grab those two greens right there, and then bring it up and over. Okay? And then turn it around. This side is easier. You want to just grab those bottom two, bring it up on each of those pegs. Alright, so we are done with row number 4. Turn it around, push down over here so that you have space for the next bands. Okay, again, grab this clear, bring it up and over. Grab this clear, bring it up and over. Alright. Grab another clear, put it over this bottom left peg, stretch it out, bring it over to the right, and we are ready to put on row number 5, which is green, green, black, black, green, green. So grab green, put it over just these two pegs, another green over these two pegs, black over these two pegs, black over these two pegs, green over these two, and last one, green. Okay, now again, we're going in front of the clear, grabbing those bottom two greens, bring it up and over, inside the clear, grab those two blacks, up and over, inside, grab those two blacks, up and over, inside the clear, grab those two blacks, up and over, inside, grab those two blacks, up and over. And again, this is the tricky one. We're going inside the clear, get into that groove, grab those two, bring it up and over. Next, over here, as you can see, it's kind of unorganized. So you might want to go in and make sure what's on the top is supposed to be on the top. And in this case, I don't think they are. Easiest thing to do is to go from the side. Okay. And as you can see, they look kind of tangled. You want these two that are right here to be on the bottom. Alright. If you do a good job at pushing down every single time, it will help minimize that. So you can actually go in and just separate them and make sure. Alright, we'll just start doing that from now on. Bring those two up, 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 and those two up. Now turn it around, and we are ready to put on row number 6, which is black, black, green, green, black, black. But first thing I got to do is bring this clear up on both sides, and grab another clear, push down, okay, and connect those bottom 6 pegs. Alright, now it's black, black, cap it, black, black, green, green, black, and black. Okay, again, go in, make sure you're inside this clear, grab those 2 greens, bring it around and over. Again, these 2 greens, over, these 2 blacks, over, these 2 blacks, over, these 2 greens, over, and then these 2 greens from in front of that clear and over. Turn it around, and since I pushed down a lot, all of these are on the bottom this time. Alright, so that is number 6. Number 7 is the same exact thing. I'm going to bring that clear up. Okay, push down. Grab another clear connector. Connect those 6. Okay. Now it's black, black, green, green, black, 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 green, green, black, black, alright, now we're going to go in again inside the clear, grab those 2 bottom blacks, bring it up and over, these 2 bottom blacks up and over, these 2 bottom greens up and over, these 2 bottom greens up and over, these 2 bottom blacks. Again, tricky part, get in front of that clear. Oh, only got one. Grab those 2 blacks up and over and turn around. If you have to organize, organize. I'm just gently going to go in. And I don't see any tangled, so bring these up. Alright, now push down, and this is actually the last row. I'm going to bring this clear up and take a clear and connect those bottom 6. And if you take a look, we are at number 8, which is all green. And this is going to be the last set of bands that we're applying, because this next row is actually already down here. So, green, capped, put it on these 2 pegs, green, push down a little bit, green, capped, put it on these 2 pegs, green, capped, put it on these 2, green, capped, put it on these 2, green, capped, put it on these 2, and this is the last band. Alright, again, just like we did before, go in with your hook, grab those bottom 2, bring it up and over, grab these. Again, I'm inside the clear. Grab these, up and over. These 2 up and over. This is a tricky one. And then grab those 2 blacks, up and over. And turn the whole loom around. Grab the bottom 2 on each one. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to bring this clear up, just like that. And now what you want to do is, since we have the greens on this side, you want to bring up this green down to here, this green down to here, this green down, 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 and down. And you're going to do that by taking your hook, make sure the hook's pointing up, and you're going to pull this off this peg very carefully, and you see there's a gap right there in those bands. You're going to use the top of this peg. As you can see, I'm rotating my hook, and once it's lined up with this top of this peg, you're going to kind of use it as a pin trying to get through that hole, and then you're going to bring this down and push down. And we're going to do the same thing with the next peg. Again, hook's pointing up. Pull this off very carefully. Rotate your hook. Line it up with that top of the peg. And bring it down. Okay? Then push down. Repeat. Hook facing up. Bring this up and over. Bring this over just like that. Okay, hook facing up, off carefully, rotate. As you can see, now I'm using like the front of the peg, whereas before I was using the top. Okay, and this one, bring it off carefully. Now I'm using more of the front. Okay. And then this one, last one. Bring it off. And now I'm using the complete other side. Alright. And over. Push down. Okay. Now this band, this band, this band, this band, this band. Those were the first 5 bands that we applied in the beginning. We are actually going to loop that up and over from inside of all of these bands. So, right here, I'm going in front of all of these bands except these bottom 2 that are part of this. And I'm grabbing those, and I'm going to bring them up and around that peg and over this. Okay? Again, I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going in front of all of these rubber bands except these bottom two right here. Grab those two, bring it up, get around those corners, and bring it up and over. Okay? Again, same exact thing. Get in front of all of these bands, get around those corners, up and over. Right here, same exact thing. Get in front of all those bands, grab those two, around these corners, and over. And then this last one. Get in front of all these bands, grab those bottom two, up and over. Okay, now that I have everything looped, I'm kind of going to clip it, but kind of not. I'm just going to have it so that you can have two ends of a rubber band right here. That way it's easier to apply onto whatever you want. Okay, so in order to do that, you want to take a rubber band. Could be any color really, but I'm going to use clear in this case. Cap it and put it over two fingers, just like that. Okay? Then you're going to go in with your hook. Make sure you're inside all of these bands. And I'm just going to grab these two ends, just like that, and then remove one finger and then bring it back to itself. And once you're here, you're going to grab these two bands, but you're going to turn it. So as you can see, these bands are turned in, and I'm going to bring it back out through that gap right there. Okay? And that is going to create a knot so that this band is knotted onto itself, holding this whole thing together. And once I do that, I can actually remove all of these from the pegs. As you can see, just like so. And that is your creeper head, but no, that is not what it's going to look like if you just stretch it out a little bit here and there. Make sure this is tight. Okay, so just pull. You might have to squish. Pull this way. Pull this way. Okay. This seems to be the best thing to do. Grab these two corners and pull this way. And then do the same thing with this side. Alright. And that is your completed box head. There is a creeper, and there is Steve. And yes, I know that Steve is supposed to have purple eyes or violet, whatever you want to call it, but I just use blue. Right, this is Rob from Justin's Toys. Hope you enjoyed, and this is the box head tutorial. Thank you for watching.